Once upon a time, in the kingdom of Melthany, there lived a priest named Molach who held a deep-seated hatred for women. Blinded by his prejudice and distorted beliefs, Molach claimed that the spirit spoke to him, declaring that the people of Melthany were sinning by showing kindness and love to their wives. He propagated the notion that women existed solely to worship men and should dedicate themselves to household chores, bringing food and money home. Naively trusting the priest's words, King Armand issued a decree that enslaved women, forbidding any man from caring for or loving his wife. Those who refused to adhere to this decree were to be put to death. Among the men who defied this cruel order was the brave and devoted husband named Putruh. He loved his wife Pelina dearly and believed that such a decree could not be divinely inspired. Despite the risks, Putruh continued to care for Pelina and show her unwavering love and support. Over the following months, neighboring men observed Putruh's defiance and witnessed the beautiful bond he shared with his wife. They marveled at the strength of their love, recognizing that it defied the priest's claims. These men gathered and approached the king Armand, sharing their observations. Tragically, Putruh's resistance to the oppressive decree did not go unnoticed. The king, furious with his defiance, ordered Putruh to be put to death. Pelina, now widowed and heartbroken, was left to endure a life of enslavement alongside countless other women, both those who had husbands and those who did not. The women who dared to rebel against their subjection were ruthlessly executed, creating an atmosphere of fear and despair. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and months into years. Pelina toiled under the weight of her bondage, tears streaming down her face as she wondered how long they would continue to live in such misery. One day, as Pelina rested from her grueling labor, an old slave woman approached her. Moved by Pelina's sorrow, she shared a tale of a man hidden away in a faraway mountain who possessed the power to solve their plight and liberate them forever. Eager to find a glimmer of hope, Pelina listened intently, absorbing every detail of the old woman's story. She learned of the man's location and, seizing a moment when the guards were intoxicated, she escaped the kingdom and embarked on a 3-day journey to reach the elusive mountain. Exhausted but determined, Pelina finally arrived at the entrance of a cavern, where she found the man spoken of in the slave woman's tale. Pelina poured her heart out to the man, sharing her unbearable circumstances and pleading for his help. Moved by her plight, the man felt a surge of compassion and revealed to her the source of the priest's power, the black pot of red smoke. He handed Pelina a substance and instructed her to wait until she saw 3 owls fly past the priest's shrine at night. In that moment, she was to put the substance inside the pot, causing the priest to wake up blind and paralyzed. She would then confront him, offering him the choice to surrender or die. Aware that the priest's pride will never allow him to yield, the man further instructed Pelina to send women in pairs to spread the word throughout the kingdom, proclaiming, "A woman with power has killed the priest. A woman with power has killed the priest." Consumed by shame, the priest would take his own dagger and end his own life. Pelina, armed with this plan, returned to the kingdom with a renewed sense of hope and determination. Gathering a group of agile slave women who yearned for liberation, Pelina clandestinely met with them to organize their covert operation. They set the night for their audacious endeavor, carefully coordinating their movements and timing to ensure the success of their plots. The fateful night arrived, and Pelina led 6 brave women with her to the shrine, while the others hid in the nearby bushes, ready to fulfill their roles. With trembling hands, Pelina approached the black pot of red smoke and poured the substance given to her by the man into it. As the concoction mixed with the smoke, a transformation occurred. The priest woke up, unable to see, and paralyzed from head to toe. Summoning her courage, Pelina stood before the priest and issued her ultimatum: surrender or face the consequences. Yet, true to the man's prediction, the priest, consumed by his own pride and false beliefs, defiantly refused to yield. In an act of desperation, Pelina beckoned the 16 women waiting in the shadows, instructing them to go out in pairs, and loudly declared throughout the kingdom, "A woman with power has killed the priest." The women obeyed, their voices echoing through the night as they spread the news like wildfire. Fear coursed through the hearts of the men, including King Armand, who had the resounding proclamation. Realizing that their once unassailable power had been shattered, panic consumed them. King Armand, overwhelmed with paranoia, sent his soldiers to investigate the shrine. As they arrived, they witnessed Pelina and the 6 women emerging from the sacred grounds, each carrying a torch ablaze. Frightened by this sight, the rumors of a woman with incomprehensible power, the soldiers turned and fled, racing back to the king to deliver their fearful report. In a state of terror, King Armand believed that Pelina and the women were coming to exert vengeance upon him. Consumed by his own guilt and fear, he took his own life, ending the tyrannical reign. Now with the king gone, Pelina stood at the threshold of the palace. Seeing the 3-year-old son left behind by King Armand, a surge of compassion welled up within her. Determined to break the cycle of darkness and hatred, she decided to raise the young prince as her own, showering him with the love and guidance he deserved. The women of Melthany, recognizing Pelina's extraordinary courage and leadership, gathered together and declared her their queen. With wisdom and compassion, Pelina convened a grand assembly, calling upon the people to set aside their grievances and learn from the tragedy they had endured. Addressing the men, Pelina implored them to love, honor, and respect their wives as equals, acknowledging the strength and wisdom they possess. She reminded the women to reciprocate this love and to embrace their husbands as partners in life. Her words resonated deeply, stirring a sense of remorse and awakening in the hearts of all who heard and learned and listened. Tears flowed freely as men asked for forgiveness from their wives, vowing to cherish and protect them. United in their newfound understanding, the people of Melthany began to rebuild their fractured kingdom under Pelina's compassionate rule. Years passed, and word of Pelina's remarkable deeds spread far and wide, reaching even the distant corners of the east and west. Her story became a beacon of hope, inspiring others to challenge oppressive beliefs and embrace love and equality. Throughout her reign, Pelina never forgot her beloved husband, Putruh, whose unwavering love had defied the priest's twisted teachings. With great reverence, Pelina commissioned skillful craftsmen to create a statue in honor of Putruh, the man who had stood against injustice and cherished his wife above all else. The statue stood tall in the heart of the kingdom, bearing the inscription, "Putruh, the true king of Melthany." As the years passed, Pelina remained steadfast in her commitment to justice, equality, and love. She nurtured the young prince, teaching him the values of compassion and empathy that had guided her own journey. Under her wise and compassionate rule, Melthany flourished, its people embracing a newfound harmony and unity. The fame of Queen Pelina's reign continued to spread, drawing visitors from far and wide who sought her guidance and wisdom. They marveled at the resilience of a kingdom that had risen from the ashes of oppression and injustice, its people bound together by love and mutual respect. However, as Pelina's reign neared its end, she knew that her time on earth was coming to a close. With great foresight, she prepared for the young prince's coronation, ensuring a smooth transition of power. Surrounded by the adoring crowd, Pelina anointed him as the rightful king of Melthany, and all bowed before him. In the weeks that followed, the people of Melthany mourned the loss of their beloved queen. News of her passing reached the farthest corners of the land, and the people journeyed from near and far to pay their respects to the great queen.